Hey guys, Michelle with Treecat here. If you're still manually entering payment policies, shipping policies, and return policies, we need to change that. So in this video, we're diving into the what, the why, and the how of creating eBay business policies that will streamline your entire process. Let's start with the basics. What are eBay business policies? Think of them sort of as master settings that control shipping, payments, and returns for all of your listings. You can create preset rules that you can make changes in bulk, and all your listings can have the same shipping cost, or all your listings can have the same return policies. It sounds really easy, right? Why do we even need these? Well, first of all, it's about efficiency. If you're still creating listings individually, entering shipping and returns manually, you're wasting a lot of time, hours of your time every year. Time you could spend sourcing new inventory, or better yet, chillaxing. Secondly, business policies bring consistency. Buyers trust sellers that offer clear professional terms, and that will lead to higher sales. And then finally, flexibility. If you decide to offer free shipping, for example, for promotional events, you can tweak one listing and instantly change hundreds. No more manually entering each one, right? Even if you're just doing this to use it for bulk changes, trust me, this is way easier. You really have to understand how much more productive this is going to make you, especially when you start getting into using automation software like Treecat's listing and cross-listing. So think about first, what kind of seller are you? Are you interested in offering free shipping, or do you want to use calculated? Do you want to, use free 30-day returns? First, you got to figure out your strategy. So if you sell light, easy to ship items like bras, like me, free shipping could work for you, but I personally don't do free shipping. I use calculated. There's different strategies. What you could do is research what similar sellers are offering, just to see what the market's doing, right? And you have to make sure it all works for your margins. Next step, payment preferences. So while eBay handles most of this through their managed payments system, you can still control some aspects. For example, if you want immediate payment for your buy it now items, and yes, you mostly do, waiting around for buyers to pay is kind of a pain. Personally, for me, offering free returns increases sales and builds buyer confidence, and you have to make sure it all works for your margins. Next step, payment preferences. So while eBay handles most of this through their managed payments system, you can still control some aspects. For example, if you want immediate payment for your buy it now items, and yes, you mostly do, waiting around for buyers to pay is kind of a pain. Sometimes they just won't. So I like immediate payment, right? That solves that problem. But now let's go to the computer. I'll show you how to set them up. Hey, if you're liking what you're hearing and you're liking what you're seeing, give this video a thumbs up, like and subscribe for more. All right, so first off, I'm going to show you how to make a business policy for payments, because you've got to be able to take money, right? Then I'm going to show you returns, because you've got to know what happens when somebody wants to return your products, if they want to return it. And then I'm going to show you shipping. I'm going to show you exactly how it all works. And then I'm going to deep dive into different ones: calculated, free, and flat. That way you know how to build it all out. And mind you, there is no right or wrong answer here. You need to decide how your business is going to run. I'm just going to provide the tools and show you how to use them. So let's get to it. Okay, so here I am in my eBay. This is actually my new baby account. So I have never sold anything on this. I don't have business policy set up or anything like that. So this is going to be a great way to test this out to see if you can set up business policies on an account that's brand new, does not have a store set up, and has never sold anything on it. So let's try. So here I am in my eBay store, and I'm going to go to account settings. Okay. And once you're in account settings, you need to go to seller account and then business policies. Another way that you could go is actually just to type in ebay.com/BP/manage. So that's another way to find it. All right. Now it says list faster with business policies, get started. So for me, it's asking me, do I want to just get started with either my return policy, my shipping policy, or my payment policy? And I'm thinking, I want to get started first with my payment policy. So let's do the payment policy first. And I'm going to go over to the right-hand side and I'm going to select create policy payment, because you want to know how you're going to get paid. So let's call the name of this policy, payment policy. All right. And the description, just something simple like payment. Okay. So by default, eBay manages payments, and you'll see an option to require immediate payment when buyer uses buy it now items. And if you check it, that means that your buyers must pay right away. And if you uncheck it, that means that they don't. If you just leave it unchecked, buyers can add items and pay later. And the thing that would be great for is waiting for payday or bundling items from your store. If they want to bundle items for, let's say they find something today and then they want to bundle something else tomorrow, and then they want those items to be combined shipping, for example. Okay, so I'm going to keep it checked. Now, let me just make this. There we go. That is much better. Okay, so first of all, let's review. You're going to put in the policy name, payment policy. You're going to write a short description. I'm just saying payment. And then I'm making sure that I'm requiring immediate payment when buyer uses buy it now, because that's really important to me. If for whatever reason you wanted to offer these other options like check, money order, or cash on pickup, you can do that, but I'm going to leave those blank. So I'm going to go ahead and save that. And now I have this amazing payment policy. Super easy, right? All right. Now let's create our return policy. So we go to create policy, return policy. And now let's set it up we're going to call it return policy. Okay, we're calling it return policy. And I'm going to do free returns. 30-day returns, because I feel like that's going to give me really good top-rated seller status if I can do free 30-day returns. Yeah, and right here it says offering a 30-day minimum return policy helps your listings qualify for top-rated seller benefits. So I'm willing to pay the returns on this because it will give me qualify me for top-rated seller benefits, and you can learn more about that by clicking here. I don't want to get into all the details on that, but I find it helpful as I'd like to have the top-rated seller status. So I am accepting returns for 30 days, return shipping paid by free. I'm paying it, and they'll get their money back. I'm going to go ahead and save that. And now I've got a 30-day returns I pay policy. So I'm just keeping this super simple. You can set up as many types of policies as you want for returns. Maybe I could set one up. Let's see, maybe it's possible that I might want to do something for no returns. Okay, so I'm going to say returns, no returns. Okay, that means I am not accepting returns. So I don't flip this on the accept returns. Okay, and I just save that. And now I have one. Now I have another return policy for no returns. I'm going to do one more return policy, create policy returns. And this one is going to be returns. And we're going to say 30 days buyer pays. And that could happen. I mean, maybe if it's a really heavy item or something like that, I might want to choose to accept returns, but the buyer pays in this instance, not myself, and it's money back. And then I'm just going to click save. Oh, policy already exists. Returns 30 days buyer. And let's see, buyer pays. Let's try that. Let's see what happens when I differentiate it in that way. All right, so now I've got 30-day free returns where the seller pays. I've got 30-day free returns I've got no returns, and I've got 30 days, but the buyer pays. Okay, so I've got 3 different return policies, and I'm happy with that. So let's move on. We're going to create a shipping policy, and let's call this something like Shipping Master, okay? This is your master shipping policy. And that way you can tell at a glance what you're choosing. I'm going to do calculated shipping. Okay? Because that's what I use most. So this is for my standard items, my small to medium items. And you're going to click, let's see here. Yeah. Standard, small to medium. So that's for anything that's not huge and freight. And so that's going to be most of the things that you're selling, unless you're selling like, I don't know, jukeboxes or something, or furniture, but that are very heavy and large. But for your small, your medium, standard items, we're going to pick calculated, and you could add your primary service. So usually what I do for this is I use USPS. Oops, find a shipping service, USPS, and I'm going to put ground advantage, right? So I've got calculated shipping. I'm going to make that ground advantage. TAGE. Okay, so I've got Shipping Master, calculated shipping for ground advantage. And I'm not offering free shipping at this point. I'm not offering a handling cost, but you certainly could. I'm not offering international at this point. I just don't particularly like that. And I'm not offering local pickup. Now for the handling, I do 1-day handling. You can choose whatever handling you'd like. But that also helps me with my top rated seller status. All right, and then I'm going to save. So this is what I'm going to use most of the time. I'm going to be using my Shipping Master, which is calculated shipping ground advantage. Now I'm going to set up another one I'm going to do a flat rate shipping here. All right, and we're just going to put flat rate shipping for this one, and maybe charge like, standard flat rate cost to all buyers. Rate table. I'm not going to use a rate table, and I will use a shipping service. I'm going to use USPS, and I'm going to use my USPS, not Priority Mail International. No, priority padded flat rate envelope. I like those. Here, your buyer's paying $9.99. Rate table, none. Add shipping services. Local pickup, no. My handling is going to be 1 day, and I'm going to exclude, actually, APO. I'm going to exclude international, all countries. Click done. So I'll click done, and we're going to save. And that is my new flat rate shipping policy. Another one you can do for shipping would be, so we got flat rate, we got calculated, and you could do a free shipping. So let's set up a free shipping. Create policy shipping. Free shipping, we'll type in free shipping. Okay, type in free shipping. I usually don't do this, but some people might find that it works for their margins. I personally never works for my margins. Anyways, so free shipping flat cost to all buyers, rate table none, add shipping services. This is only going to be for USPS ground advantage. What I'm looking for is ground advantage. There we go. So I'm only going to use this if I were to use it on ground advantage, and it would be offers free shipping. Okay. And okay, so additional locations, none. Rate table, none. Not doing local pickup. We're going to do a 1 business day handling, and we're going to make sure that all of our international locations are not included. We're saving it. And that is my free shipping. So now we have a free shipping. So okay, there you go. those are some great policies that you can set up. And, you know, as your stores grow, you can add more specialized policies, right? So, for example, like $9.99 for shoes or something like that. $14.99 for golf clubs, right? USPS ground or something. Free media mail for books and DVDs. And you want to keep your title short and clear so that you can pick it quickly. So to wrap it up, that's it. Now you know how to set up your eBay payment, return, and shipping policies. Start simple, add more as your store grows, and always keep your policy names short and clear. I hope this video helps. Hit the like button, subscribe for more reseller tips, and drop a comment. Thanks for watching and happy selling. Bye-bye.